his opponent across the ring in this main event, fighting tonight out of the blue corner. He's wearing blue and white trunks and weighed in at 173 pounds. A native of Białowieża, Poland, he is now fighting out of Chicago, Illinois. And his record consists of 23 wins, 2 defeats, with 13 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the number 4 ranked contender by the IBF and IBO light heavyweight champion of the world, the Polish Prince, Andrew Von Furhan.
Gino Rodriguez will be our referee for this 12-rounder that is acting as an IBF title eliminator for the #1 spot.
Okay, gentlemen, you got your instructions. I want you to obey my command at all times, protect yourself at all times, all right? Capetillo, recibiste mis instrucciones, obedece mis instrucciones todo el tiempo, protege todo el tiempo, suerte.
Campillo has lost 2 of his last 3, Joe. He only has 1 win in his last 4, but oh, to good fighters. The former WBA world champion, Campillo.
Fonfara came out and threw that right hand right away, a right hand that he broke back in November of 2012 against Tommy Karpency.
I'm going to tell you right now, Fonfara doesn't hurt Campillo early. I think Fonfara might be in for a tough night. And if Fonfara is going to hurt Campillo, it's going to be with the right hand. He favors that right hand. That's his favorite punch. That's his Sunday punch, I guess you would say. And Campillo gets hit with right hands. Campillo was knocked out 2 fights ago by right hands. And I'm sure Fonfara is aware of that.
Fonfara's already done a nice job to the body with that right hand.
The early part is the important part, I think, right now for the 34-year-old former champion, Campillo. Campillo, Joe's been getting hurt early in fights lately. Even when you go back to Tavora's Cloud, that a lot of people thought he won that fight. I did too. He was down 2 times in that fight in the first round.
Then he brought himself back. Box 12, deep into it. Now there's a straight left hand from the southpaw.
I have doubts about Fonfara, I'm going to tell you right now. Again, he's the favorite here. He's the hometown kid. He's the hope of a lot of these fans. But if Campillo, at 34 years old, has any juice left, I think it's going to be interesting and maybe tough for the local kid. And again, the early round's important for Campillo to survive. Fonfara 9 years younger. Fonfara looks a little tight to me. You know, Campillo's been on this stage many, many times. Fonfara early on, I know he's in shape, but he's already got his mouth open, and he just looks like a guy that knows that this is a bigger stage than he's been on before.
By a mile. The setting alone, the pressure, the hometown, a packed ballpark here. The Polish fans out in force with high expectations, a title eliminator compared to a guy who's had a belt around his waist.
You know, we know that Fonfara, and I said in the fight plan, was going to look for right hands. Well, Campillo knows it too. And he's looking to slip those right hands, Campillo, not get caught with that punch.
Reminder, go to the Friday Night Fight Facebook page and score along with Teddy and the ringside judges. Click on the live scoring. You get that opportunity right now as we come to the end of round number 1 of our scheduled 12-round main event.
Are you making it just any night? Or are you making it remember that night? With America's #1 choice, Pizza Hut. Now get great pizza at a great price. The $10 any carry-out deal. Any pizza, any size, any toppings. Now just $10 when you carry out. Tonight, make it great.
Don't let unfresh pitch ruin your game. Next time, use Right Guard Extreme Fresh. With 72 hours of uncompromising freshness, it's the antiperspirant that changes your game. Right Guard for the win.
Teddy, let's look at tonight's foolproof punch of the night, brought to you by Just for Men.
There it is, that left hand directed to the right spot. Watch how Paulo blinds himself with his left glove. There's that left glove, blinded him. And there's the left hand of Szpilka, who's still undefeated, putting him to sleep.
That was the rematch that got the night started, and now celebration for Artur Szpilka as he's made his way ringside and getting congratulations from all the fans. As Szpilka moves his mark to 16-0 with 12 knockouts, once again dismissing Mike Mallow as he did back on February 1st, but Szpilka himself was down in the fight again tonight. By the way, you can see a replay of that on ESPN3.com, highlights on ESPN.com's boxing page.
I'm going to say it again, maybe a little differently, but I think Fonfara may have big problems if he doesn't hurt Campillo early on. You don't want a former champion to start feeling like a champion again. One thing that should give Fonfara some confidence going in here, he beat a southpaw in his last fight, Joe, and he's facing a lefty tonight, but a better lefty than he fought in his last fight. A lot better. You know, usually I give combined records of the last several opponents. You know, when they've been, let's say, weak opponents. Well, this is a little different, and I'm gonna give the last several ages of opponents that Fonfara has faced. In his last 5 fights, 3 of his opponents have been 38 years old or older, and the other 2 were 42 and 43 years old. So Fonfara been fighting a lot of older guys, fighting a 34-year-old tonight too. But he's been fighting a lot of older guys. You know, a couple of fights ago, he beat the former champion, Glenn Corp Johnson.
Retired that night.
Yeah, retired, then came back. He was 43 years old when he beat Johnson. So his people are obviously taking former world champions 2 in a row that are older, and they think beyond themselves. In the twilight, let's say that. In the twilight of their career, at a lesser part of their career, that's what they figure. Let's find out if they figured right against the former champion tonight, who, yes, he's older, but he's 34, he's not 43.
I'll tell you, there was a sneaky little right uppercut there moments ago by Campillo. By the way, it's been a fun night here in Chicago, and trending right now on Twitter is simply this: #boxing. Obviously, a lot of folks on Twitter probably saying, are you watching this fight with Szpilka Mallow early on? That got a #SC Top 10 for the knockout that we showed you earlier tonight. But good night for the sport overall when you get this kind of crowd in this kind of a setting and good action in the ring.
Joe, Fonfara's in trouble. I mean, look, he still might land the right hand. He's still 9 years younger, but keep watching this fight, because I think Campillo is starting to realize that maybe he can have his way here.
There's
I really do.
Long-range right hand.
I said in this setup before they got in the ring that Fonfara might have trouble tonight. He just had trouble with those 2 punches. That's all I know.
His fan support out in force, as they've been all night from the heavyweight fight forward, the Polish fans here in Chicago. But boy, in that last round, Gabriel Campillo in round number 2 just started to find himself and get really comfortable.
You know, I said it before 2 fights ago. Fonfara was also in the ring with an aging former world champion. We said it, Johnson, 43 years old at the time, and it worked out for him, gaining his biggest win of his career. Now here he goes again, rolling the dice, his people. But this aging former champion is not quite as old. And it's another step up in competition for Fonfara. We'll find out whether or not his people are rolling the dice for the 2nd time versus a former champion. On the downside, we'll find out if they come up snake eyes this time.
Remember, Campillo had those 2 back-to-back losses, but then coming off a tune-up win back on June 14th. And look at the confidence as he lets his hands go. He's had success with straight lefts here in this third round and then got to the inside moments ago.
Sit down, get comfortable at home, stay comfortable. It's been a great night here. You might see an upset. You might see a former world champion start to think that he can be a champ again, at least against the local kid, Fonfara, who hasn't really been tested yet. And, you know, the thing that worries me about Fonfara, I said it from the beginning, I said in the fight plan, he depends on his right hand to land against the southpaw Campillo, who has been, and Campillo has been hurt with right hands. But I don't think Fonfara is a great right hand puncher. I think he's decent, but not great.
Campillo now touching him with that right jab, putting it out there accurately. Now small steps forward as Fonfara tried to catch him with that left hand.
Just like we're looking for right hands from Fonfara, look for that right hook. Look for those round punches around the gloves of Fonfara from Campillo. Watch for those, that right hook, like we said in the fight plan, that goes around the glove when Fonfara puts those earmuffs on. Like right now, he's going back. See how he goes back straight and he puts those earmuffs on, Fonfara? When he goes back straight and puts those earmuffs up, goes into that peekaboo like that, he's asking for trouble. I think Campillo recognizes that and sees that. A good round again for Campillo. I don't know what the judges are looking at, but I know I'm looking at a former champion that had a couple good rounds here. In the fight plan, we said Fonfara, watch him. He goes back, puts those earmuffs on, goes straight back. Campillo can go with him and catch him. Campillo seems to understand that, sense that, look for that. It's going to be interesting the rest of the way.
How about that view behind what would be a home plate shot at a Chicago White Sox game as we reverse our angle here as the ring is set up right against the backstop here at U.S. Cellular in what has been just a fantastic night for the sport. A big crowd in a big stadium enjoying good, fun action in the ring as it continues here into round number 4 in an IBF title eliminator. Former titleist in Campillo, Chicago-based prospect with a big fan following in Fonfara.
Fonfara, very simple. I think too simple. 1, 2, then he covers up like that, and he pulls back. You're that simple. You're that uncomplicated. A former champion like Campillo should be able to figure you out.
Let's look at Teddy's scorecard. And Teddy, you've talked about the appreciation you had from the second round forward with Campillo. 29-28, 2 rounds to 1 here, a minute into round number 4. You, the fans at home, see it the same exact way as Teddy. You can join in at any moment after the end of each round on Facebook. Click on the Friday Night Fight live scoring button and join in. See if you match up with Teddy at the end. See if you match up with the 3 ringside judges, who will see how they view this tonight. Of course, the fan support and the reaction every time Fonfara throws out that jab compared to the work and the steady progress and the rhythm that Campillo's found himself in. There's a good pot shot by Campillo. I've seen plenty of that.
Well, we've had honest fighters all night. I just hope we have honest judges. That's all I'm going to say.
No, we haven't needed them so far. Szpilka 5th round knockout, Granado 6th round KO. Both men getting up off the canvas to do so.
You know, Campillo, for the most part, is a boxer. You know, he's pretty slick. He fights only in spots. You know, he's only got 8 knockouts in 28 fights. But tonight, I think he can be a walk-down guy, a seek and destroy guy. I really do. I think he could back up Fonfara. I don't know if he's going to do it, but I think that I would tempt him to think about it if I was in the corner, to walk down Fonfara. I think he can walk him down and nail him shots.
There's a small cut that's opened up in the corner of the left eye of Andrew Fonfara. Right near the brow there. That was a good, solid left hand from the Spaniard.
Campillo's starting to look like the guy I'm talking about. He's walking him down. He's starting to feel what I'm seeing. He's seeing the same thing, that he can walk this guy down and maybe expose this local kid.
Such confidence by Campillo right now as Fonfara comes in with headshots.
Little swelling under the right eye of Campillo. The cut man better get that end swell, that piece of metal that you put in ice to take the swelling down. Better get it ready.
And Fonfara's corner is going to deal with that minor cut there, showing a little bit of blood near that left eye. Good action here in our main event from Chicago. Stay with us, short break. Corner of Campillo.
So not corner, not water. Forget about the water. Where's the end swell? Where's the end swell? The right eye of the former champion is swelling. They needed to apply an end swell, and they did not apply an end swell.
So Campillo up off the stool.
Water. Who needs water?
Against Fonfara for round number 5 after he has seemingly taken control in the middle of the second round forward.
I'm telling you right now, if that right eye closes, and it's closing a little bit, of Campillo, he should fire his corner for not putting that end swell on that eye early on to stop that swelling.
Now Fonfara trying to touch him with that left hand. Goes to the body, then back up top, looking for a combination with the right hand behind it.
The cut man for Campillo, if you're wondering, Oscar Sanchez.
CompuBox offers up this as Campillo puts together 3 power shots, and you see the power punches, 54 to 52.
And he's not a power puncher, like I said, 28 fights, only 8 knockouts, but he can be one tonight. I really believe it. And he's starting to act like it. I said it earlier, so walk him down, and he's walking Fonfara down.
There's a nice body punch in the midst there. He got that right hand to the left flank of Fonfara.
You know, when we had a break earlier, I looked at my texts. I don't usually do that. But I saw my wife, Elaine, text me and said, "Did you have caffeine today?" I said, "No, I'm outdoors in a ballpark where there's been great history in Chicago, where Sugar Ray Robinson and Joe Louis have fought right across the street. I'm excited."
Listen, you can breathe it in here tonight. I said it before, I'll say it again. This is what the sport can be.
This
Big
is
city,
helping the sport.
big stadium, great action fights, well priced, not filling a casino ballroom, giving fight fans exactly what they deserve. Local base fighters taking big steps up, being well matched. We've seen that with the Polish contingency here in Chicago.
I'm telling you, Fonfara's getting knocked out tonight, okay? I know that I step out on the line more than most commentators do all the time, but unless that eye closes of Campillo, and if that eye closes, I'm going to scream at the corner of Campillo, because really they should be ashamed of themselves not putting an end swell on that eye. But Campillo's starting to break down Fonfara.
There's a good 1-2.
Cut man for Fonfara, Rick Fornato.
Just like you said, walking him down. Campillo confidently taking strides forward. Now Fonfara looking to work behind that jab.
Yeah, Campillo's saying to himself, like a lot of the kids in our gyms, I hear them say all the time in the Dr. Atlas Foundation Cops and Kids gyms that we run, these great kids, they say, "I got this, I got this." I think Campillo feels like he's got it.
It's a better last 30 seconds for Fonfara here.
Yeah, but Campillo coming back.
Right back.
Coming right back.
Short right uppercut on the inside. What a great night of action here. Corner Campillo working on their charge. They did tend to that right eye for a moment there. It was with a block of ice, Teddy.
Yeah, I guess they don't have an end swell. They have a block eye. Hey, look, it's better than nothing. At least they put some ice on it. I would have liked to see them keep it on there a little longer, but hey, at least they did pay attention to it. They did act on it. And it's a lot better than many years ago what we saw in the corner in Tokyo, in that inept corner of Mike Tyson when he got knocked out by Buzzer Douglas.
When Rory Holloway and John Horn were acting as trainers?
And Jake Wright was imitating whatever you want to call that. I don't know what he was trying to be, but they had a balloon with water in it and was putting it on Tyson's eye as it was swelling right in front of the audience. But at least the corner of Campillo, at least they had a piece of ice, not a balloon with water in it. So that's a step in the right direction.
Round number 6. As Teddy has already gone out on that ledge and says he sees a knockout coming. That the local fighter, the favored fighter, Fonfara, the guy who's looking for that ride up and get himself a world title shot in this title eliminator, could be going away if Campillo can keep things up here and walk him down. Tried to get around that guard with the right hand, did Fonfara. Remember the left eye of Fonfara with a small cut that started in round number 4. Now he's looking to headshot a bit here.
You know, Campillo should be able to win this fight. I mean, I said it from the beginning, but really now he should be able to win it because he's got a guy in front of him who's very standing. All he's got to worry about is the right hand. And a guy who's experienced as Campillo shouldn't get hit with the right hand. I'm sorry, he really shouldn't. He should move to his right all night long, Campillo, away from the right hand. The one weapon that Fonfara has. But don't move straight back.
No, don't stay in the path of it.
Another good
Jab
round for
touching him
Campillo.
twice.
You know what I'm dying to do?
What's that?
I'm dying to be able to fly, but I don't know how to fly over the judges right now and see who they have winning this fight. Because if they don't have Campillo winning, I'd like to start screaming.
William Lurch, Scott Dexter, Harry Davis assigned to this fight here in Chicago.
I'd rather scream now than, you know, really lose my mind later. Judges were to rob Campillo if he continues.
You've done that a few times in
to
Chicago
dominate.
through the years.
Oh, yes, he has. That swollen eye of Campillo, it's still getting swollen, though. That's the only thing bothering him so far.
ESPN Friday Night Fights is presented by Corona Extra, a proud sponsor of Friday Night Fights, and as always encourages you to relax responsibly. And they had a show here at U.S. Cellular 51 years after Sonny Liston and Floyd Patterson at Old Comiskey Park just across the street. Now a parking lot. And you get the sense they're going to want to do it again. Great reception for boxing here on the south side of Chicago. Round number 7 of our IBF light heavyweight title eliminator.
You know, I think Fonfara is feeling a little desperate now. I mean, he's coming out, he's throwing right hand, but early in the round, I think he tried to pull a little bit of a fast one, looking for an advantage. Fonfara came out and he stepped right on the foot of the southpaw. Now that happens a lot with an orthodox fighter and a southpaw. There he goes again. That happens a lot, where the lead left foot of the orthodox fighter, in this case Fonfara, will step on the lead right foot of the southpaw, in this case Campillo. I'm wondering if Fonfara did it on purpose early on. You know, you step on a guy's foot sometimes. If you can do it on purpose, you get an advantage. He can't move. He tries to pull away. What happens? His hands drop. There it is again. He gets off balance a little bit. Hopefully direct. I think he's on top of it. He's looking at the feet right now. But 4 times this round, I've seen Fonfara left foot step on the right foot of Campillo. And again, what's the advantage? Well, the guy that's getting his foot stepped on, Joe, he pulls out, and what happens? He can fall. He exposes himself. He falls back, and then you can hit him when he's vulnerable.
And we've seen referees blow that call before as well. And there's a short left uppercut on the inside. Now a left hand followed by a right uppercut. And look at him teeing off there, just picking his shots, stopping and popping. And now Fonfara comes to the inside, misses with that glancing right hand.
Come back.
See, I don't understand 2 things about the corner of Campillo. I think he's winning the fight, like I said. I think he's winning it.
Right hand
I think he's winning handily. But I'd like to see 2 things with the corner of Campillo. Maybe 3 things. 1, end swell or something. Keep it on the ice. Keep the ice on the eye, the right eye. of Campillo. The other thing is, tell him to back this guy up. Fonfara doesn't know how to fight going backwards. He really does. Look, back him up and get him out of there before you let him lay around with a 34-year-old, maybe get lucky. And the one, again, stepping on the foot again. Fonfara just stepped on Campillo's foot, and Campillo almost got off balance because of it.
Often a concern with Orthodox versus Southpaw, and it has showed up here.
Here's what I thought I saw at the beginning of the last round, and I was right, I did see it. Fonfara comes right out, steps on the foot, there it is, on the foot of Campillo, and here's another look right here. Fonfara steps on the foot of Campillo. Now for Campillo, when he tries to pull back, gets off balance for a second, he could have been exposed. You never know the tricks of the trade sometimes, especially if a man's desperate, and I think Fonfara is getting to that desperate neighborhood.
Round 8, a lot on the line in his career as a 25-year-old, a contender, ranked in the BO number 3, the IBF number 4, but this is a title eliminator. Try to get that number 1 slot in the IBF at 175 pounds. CompuBox putting together the total power punches and the advantage for Campillo, 100 to 81 as we begin this 8th round.
I'd like to know what the fans have it. I wonder if they have it the same way as I have it, because I got one guy winning this fight. And then, of course, I would like to know what the judges have, because if this fight continues this way, the judges should be put in handcuffs if they don't have Campillo winning the fight, at least so far. And I'd love to put them in handcuffs, because I think sometimes judges need to be put in something, be held accountable when they destroy young men's careers.
Let's look at Teddy's card while we're on the subject of judges. 69-64 as Campillo taking control in the 2nd round forward. Teddy appreciating the work he's been doing. You, the viewer at home, 6 rounds to 1. You can join it at any point on the Friday Night Fight Facebook page.
That eye, look again, that eye, look at that eye, that right eye. That's the one thing that can really change this fight, is that right eye is continuing to swell, and the corner hasn't done a great job with it. They really haven't, and that's their job. Gets me upset when a fighter does his job and the corner doesn't do theirs.
Well, there was a good 4.5 minutes that went by from the moment where the realization of the swelling to when they actually got ice on it. They wasted an entire round and in-between round until they got to it.
And you know, they need to tell, if I can see, they need to see Campillo could back this guy up. Back him up. Don't keep going back in front of him, where Fonfara has a chance to land that right hand. Again, if I'm in the corner, Campillo, I'm telling him either move to your right, away from the right hand, or just back this guy up. Because he can't fight going backwards. He goes straight back, and he gets nailed.
Oh,
There's the right hand. There's the right hand that you got to worry about. And he caught him, and he hurt him. But he's at the end of the round.
And the bell comes in at a perfect time for Campillo.
Well, Fonfara doesn't usually move his head, but he did. And surprise, surprise, he moves his head, he slips the right-hand jab of Campillo, and he counters with a nice right hand, the best right hand he landed all night, the cleanest right hand all night, and a right hand that Campillo really didn't see. And he got hurt. The bad news, Campillo got hurt. The good news was at the end of the round, Campillo survived.
Campillo trying to make a statement, coming out throwing here early in round number 9. He was hurt there at the end of round 8. That right eye swelling is much, much worse here as he begins the 9th round. Trying to work on the inside. Fonfara shooting off a jab. Now gets to the inside, touching the body and going upstairs.
Again, if Fonfara is allowed to go forward, that's the one thing he knows how to do. He's pretty standard. But if you back him up, he doesn't know how to do that. He goes straight back. He can get nailed with shots. And again, I said it earlier, the one thing you have to worry with Fonfara is the right hand. That's all you have to worry about. Why is Campillo continue to be straight in front of him and pull straight out? Why doesn't he move to the right, away from the right hand? Or get in tight and back him up, where the feet are moving backwards to Fonfara, and he can't do that. He can't move forward and punch with the right hand. See, when he's moving forward, Fonfara, he's good. He can move forward, he can shift his weight forward, he can punch forward. But when he's going backwards, he's not good.
He was coming forward moments ago, landed that right hand, and now it's Campillo trying to walk him down again. Fonfara takes that step forward, meets him with a left hand to the body. Wide looping right hand, getting around the guard. The left hand landed. Headshot scoring for Fonfara. Body shot came in, and a second knockdown score. And so bad cut on the left eye. The fight is over. Fonfara wins by knockout.
I wonder what the scores were, because that was a fight Campillo was winning up into the last 2 rounds. Give credit to Fonfara. I thought he would have trouble tonight, and he did have trouble tonight, but he pulled it out, and that's what matters.
So add that to the list of great action here on Friday Night Fights at US Cellular Field. Yet another knockout win in front of this big crowd in the big league park, and they are loving it as the Chicago-based Pole, Andrew Fonfara, comes back after struggling in the middle rounds to score a knockout in round number 9.
Let's not forget, Campillo, 34 years old. You know, he had lost 2 of his last 3, only 1 win in his last 4, knocked out 2 fights ago. It figured that late in the fight he might wear a little bit. Fonfara, 9 years younger, maybe that youth would show itself, and it did. I thought Campillo fought a pretty good fight, was ahead in the fight, but still surprised that he was standing right in front, not moving to his right, away from that right hand.
There's a cut that opened up over that left eye. Fonfara now celebrating, the Polish flag waving here at what used to be Comiskey.
Hey, if Fonfara and his people can keep fighting old former world champs that are 34 or older,
I know you're tough.
he might keep winning for a long time.
That's what you had to do.
Born and raised in a small town outside of Warsaw. His parents came here and moved with him to Chicago. And let's go back and show you how he finished it off.
Fonfara's mostly right hand. This time, again, right hand. Not the straight right hand this time. The right uppercut that started things. And here will be the finish of things. The right hand again, the right uppercut again. And we were wrong. It didn't look like a body shot.
Well, there's a right hand to the body that gets in after the... There's the one to the eye. Then comes a right hand to the body right there.
Oh, you're right. The right hand to the solar plexus. That did get in. That did get in to the solar plexus. And there it is. Another look. The right hand to the body. As you first saw, Joe, of Campillo, right in the middle there, the solar plexus. That will do the job. That will make all the air come out of your body. That's that little space. If you take your hands, you take your fingers, and you put it into the middle of your stomach, just below the chest bone, there's a little space there. It's the solar plexus. You get hit there, guess what? You have no air. You go down. Campillo got hit there. He had no air. He went down.
Here are the official particulars with Thomas Triber.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 1 minute, 37 seconds of round number 9. Our referee in charge, Gino Rodriguez, waves off the count of 10. Your winner by way of knockout, the Polish Prince, Andrew Fonfara.
That was for the #1 slot in the IBF. Bernard Hopkins has a mandatory defense coming up on October 26th, but Fonfara has put himself in position for something good. Knockout victory against the former titleist. We will hear from Fonfara when we return to Friday Night Fights. Already a lot of buzz on social media saying one of the best fight cards, great venue, high energy nights that we've ever seen on Friday Night Fights. Boy, oh boy, do they agree here at U.S. Cellular Field on the south side of Chicago, where one of their fan favorites came up with a knockout victory, and he's standing by with Bernardo Osuna.
Thank you, Joe. Andrew, talk to me about what it meant to do what you did, winning by knockout in a title eliminator in front of these great fans.
It's a great thing, you know. I thanks, first of all, my whole camp, my whole team, my whole sparring partners who prepared me for this fight. I'm happy about that. I'm first in the ranking IBF, and I know I'm just warrior. You know, I fight for the end of the fight, and that I'm winning this fight.
This is the third world titleist you've beat in your career. This is your 11th knockout in your last 12 fights. Walk us through how you were able to finish this fight.
Campillo is very tough fighter. He's lefty, and he's very sneaky, you know. He punch very more punch. And we have tactic for him, you know, pressure. You know, this is easy, like you know, say, you know, it's more different if you go in the ring. Then I go my best. I beat Campillo. I knock him out. This is my determination. This is what I'm training, and I want to be a world champion. But I want to work more in defense, you know, because you know I know my mistakes. I have hard punch, but I, you know, must train, you know, more defense. You know, I'm very critical about me. Then I must, you know, think about, you know, more defense, more. But I counter him one time good. Then I'm happy about that. You know, I'm with this fight. I want to, you know, thank you all one time, my brother, my whole team, my manager, Frank, Max, Frank.
And all the fans here at U.S. Cellular Field who made this a very memorable night, which will go down in history, especially for Friday Night Fights, as one of the best crowds that we've ever had. A big knockout, had to go through the first cut of his career. The big winner tonight, Andrew Fonfara.